Hallelujah. Oh, testing, testing. Great Pretender.
Who the hell are you anyway? I am a confidence man.
And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original anime series, Great Pretender. A Japanese conman crosses paths with a French rival and gets entangled in conspiracies and scams beyond his wildest dreams. I've been very impressed with Netflix original content for the most part, especially the last few seasons or series that we've had. I feel like they've been really strong stories. I loved BNA, thought that was fantastic. There's just been so many really interesting ones that I wasn't expecting to love this one as much as I did. There are 14 episodes, and without the intro and end credits, there's about 20 minutes per episode. There's also 3 different storylines, 3 cases in amongst this, so do go in understanding that there are 3 different storylines, and they each kind of develop the stories of the background characters, but for the most part they're individual cases, and you'll understand that when you get into the anime.
Did he say constipated?
The story actually isn't really about con men per se. It's more a Robin Hood story.
We're men in tights.
It's more very intelligent people taking from the rich or the people that use other people or are just like dastardly people. You know, the bad dudes, the bad guys or bad ladies.
Bad guy.
They take from them and then give them the money or whatever they need in response to what has happened. So depending on what case they choose to take on, that's really the arc, and I quite like this. You have this young Japanese boy who gets roped into this world, and the first case is basically him coming to terms with how intricate this team is, and you know how developed their plans are, how far their plans go, and actually what they stand for. And it basically has this boy coming to terms with his past, which I feel like is a really great story. By the second episode, I was fully invested in his character. And then as the storylines continue, you get, I guess, immersed into the back characters of certain other characters, and you really are immersed into liking the main protagonist, which I really appreciate when you give time to backstory in amongst the story arc that you're trying to tell. Yeah, it really great. The look of the anime itself is quite stylistic. It reminds me of films, very, heist films or Ocean's 11s, that kind of thing. But if you put that in anime, it's Japanese culture meets Western culture, and I think that works really well. There's also the score that works really well with this. I'm not a huge fan of jazz, but for some reason, when they have it in your head, it really works because it lends itself to that kind of, the heist. I think the Western society has put that into films a lot, using jazz as, where as Carmen to San Diego. That kind of thematic theme goes really well with when you're doing a heist or, you're trying to escape. It's that kind of jazz style. The type of jazz that my wife hates, where it's very non-melodic. There's not really a melody to capture. But if you like that sort of jazz, it's in here. If you don't, it's not here all the time in all of the episodes. There is other music that really heightens the tone that they're going for. I really like the vibrancy and the color palette that they have in each episode. Very vibrant, very bright. It really kind of shouts on screen. Sometimes there's a mash of colors going all over the place, which I think is fine because that's the tone that they're going for. It's fun. It's always making you think as well, this anime, which I really liked. Every time I thought I guessed where it was going, and sometimes you guess like a pathway. The plan seems to be so much bigger, and I really like intelligent storylines, and I felt like when I was watching this, I was like, yeah, this is an intelligent anime. For the voice work, we watched the first 5, my son and I, we watched the first 5 episodes in English, mostly because I thought it was an English anime. So you have this first episode, and some of the dialogue is in Japanese, the original language, and then it goes, from here on, it's going to be in English. And I was like, wow, okay, maybe that's just the way they're doing the anime. And then when we went and checked, we switched it over to Japanese original. We always like watching the original language if we can. But I would say that the voice work for the English, the actors that portray the characters are very good. And the dubbing is quite well matched to the mouth movements, which I really appreciate. Because sometimes when you watch anime or even films, if the dubbing isn't correctly mouthed or matched to it, it can really take you out of the experience of the anime that you are watching. And for me, I thought both the original language and the dubbing had done a fantastic job. I can't wait to see more of this anime. I think it's a very intelligent, it's very fun. You really like the characters, you get behind the characters, especially those background stories that they do. So many, I guess, series, TVs and films, you know, all of that, they do flashbacks in a certain way. Sometimes you get that dreamy scope, but the way they do this, it fully immerses you in it. You get little snippets throughout an episode if they're dealing with a certain character, or through episodes, and then they go into another bit where they kind of show you the little snippets together, and that leaves you wanting more. And I remember me saying to my son, or my son saying to her, like, we kind of wanted to watch that backstory. Their background stories are so interesting that you really want to know more about them. So the fact that it leaves you wanting more is very clever, so that when you get back into the present timeline, you are so invested with the characters because you're like, oh, I wonder what happened there, although you get to know a little bit about it, and then you're like, oh, I understand why they act that way. I understand why they are, you know, so closed off or so heightened in their sense of exuberancy. You know, all the character traits, as you learn a bit about them in their background, you understand why, and so you're fully engaged into the storyline. You're rooting for them to win or to complete the heist, and things will go wrong, and seeing them how they adapt with their skills, I think that was a lot of fun. Seeing the team involved in whatever case they taken on, that was excellent. Sorry, I have a massive plane flying overhead. It's gone. Yeah, so all in all, I thought this was fantastic. I did feel like the middle case started to lag just a little bit. My concentration started to wane a bit, but maybe that's because I binge watched the whole lot. For the most part, I thought this was excellent, really fun, great score, great acting, great story, really intelligent, kept me engaged. And my son is 15 that watched it with me, so you know, two age demographics there who both really enjoyed this anime. So I hope you enjoyed this review and you go, yeah, okay, this is one I want to watch, because I definitely would put it on there. I'm going to give this an A. It's a solid anime series. Thanks so much for watching this review, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.